Good afternoon out there. My name is Linus Nate and I welcome you to Linus Nate TV on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel, like, share, and then place your comments under it. We will gladly read them for you. Today we are doing something quite different from what we normally do, that is to bring you exclusive sports interviews. But today we'll be looking at Medeama SC's performance in the CAF Champions League. Let's first congratulate the team led by Coach Evans Adote. They have done incredibly well. They've played 2 matches and they've won 1 and they've lost 1. They lost to El Ali of Egypt 3-0, and then they won by 2-1 against CAF Champions from Algeria. So I can boldly say that they have started quite well, and I believe that with the subsequent games ahead of them, they will put out a very good performance as well. But before we delve deep into the issue, I would want us to look at some of their stats that they managed to put out there before they gain qualification to the group stage of the Champions League. But the real deal is we'll be looking at 3 things that Medeama needs to do to be able to progress out of the group stages. They have the likes of young Africans from Tanzania, they have CAF Champions from Algeria, and then they have El Ali from Egypt. So it tells you that they have been placed in a very tough group. But like I said earlier, they have done extremely well, and we need to give credit to the entire team and the entire playing body as well. Now let's look at some of their stats prior to they gaining qualification to the group stage. They were able to beat Rainbow Stars of Nigeria. The first leg they won 1-0. The second leg they lost 1-0 in Nigeria, but they managed to progress after winning 3-2 on penalties. And then they managed also to beat AC Horoya from Guinea. A very great side. You look at their performance day in, day out in the CAF Champions League. For Medeama to be able to beat them, I think that they've also done incredibly well. They won 3-1 in Ghana, and then they lost 2-1 in Conakry. It tells you that they have done extremely well, and then we need to give them applause for that. If you look at their performance, this is not the first time Medeama is participating in the Continental Challenge. They've been there before in 2016 in the CAF Confederations Cup, where they won the FA Cup in 2016. So in that specific year, they were able to beat they beat the likes of Mamelodi Sundowns, and then they also managed to beat Al Ittihad of Libya, and then Al Shendi of Sudan. So that was how they managed to progress from their preliminary stages of the CAF Confederations Cup in 2016 before they managed to gain promotion or progress. They progressed to the group stages of the Confederations Cup, where they were grouped against Mbo Bejaya from Algeria, and then Young Africans, and then TP Mazembe. TP Mazembe and then Young Africans are 2 top clubs. TP Mazembe is from Congo, and then Young African is from Tanzania. So that was how they were able to place Medeama in that group. But unfortunately for Medeama, they failed to progress out of that group stages. They had 8 points. They won 2, they lost 2, and then they drew 2. So it tells you that yes, it was a very tough group, but they managed to come third ahead of Young Africans. So this time around, they are facing Young Africans again in the CAF Champions League. This is their first time in that competition, that is the CAF Champions League. Since they won the Ghana Premier League in 2022-2023, they have the sole right to represent Ghana in the CAF Champions League. And so they've done extremely well. Their first 2 games, they've managed to gain 3 points, which I think is okay. They lost their first game against El Ali, and then they won their second game against CAF Champions of Algeria last week Friday at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. So for that, it tells you that yes, they've done extremely well. Now, if you look at their performance so far, their next game is against Young Africans of Tanzania, and it will be the second meeting between both sides. And so Medeama will have the opportunity to go to East Africa, that is Tanzania, to play against Young Africans. The last time they went there, they drew 1-1. That is in 2016, the CAF Confederations Cup. So it tells you that Medeama, when they meet these East African countries, they do well, and it's not a bad performance. So their next game is against Young Africans here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium on Friday, 8th December 2023. At the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. So looking at their last game, they beat Belouizdad 2-1. I think that it will give them a lot of confidence moving into that second game against Young Africans at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. So I believe that Medeama needs to capitalize on this opportunity. Like I said, the first leg, the first time they met in the CAF Confederations Cup, Medeama drew 1-1 in Tanzania, and then they won 3-1 here at Secondary Takrady. So it tells you that anytime they meet Young Africans, they are able to make sure they bully them. So I am not expecting a very different performance from them come Friday. I believe that if Medeama is able to capitalize on their home games, they are going to make sure they progress out of the group stage. They have 3 home games to play in. If they are able to win all their 3 home games, it means Medeama has gained 9 points, which probably puts them on a very better position to be able to qualify out of Group D, which is a very tough group because they have the likes of El Ali there, who are 11 times champions of the CAF Champions League. So it tells you the quality. They have young Africans, have not won it before, but they have been very consistent in that competition. Belouizdad has also been very consistent there. They've won the Algerian League 4 times in a row. It tells you the quality that they have. So I believe that if Medeama is able to capitalize on their home games, they are going to make sure they progress. Now let me take you through the current standings on Group D in the CAF Champions League. El Ali tops the group with 4 points after 2 games. They won 1, they drew 1. Belouizdad also has 4 points. They won 1, and then they drew 1. Medeama has 3 points after 2 games. They won 1, they lost 1. Young Africans after 2 games have only a point. They've lost 1, they've drawn 1. So it tells you that Medeama is still ahead of Young Africans. So if they should be able to capitalize on that game against Young Africans come Friday, it means Medeama will probably have 6 points, which it is very good for them. And then Belouizdad and El Ali, for that one, we don't know what will happen. There are 2 North African countries. One is from Algeria, one is from Egypt. So for that one, we have no idea what is going to happen. But what we are praying for is Medeama to win their game against Young Africans, and that is on December 8th at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Now their next game will be at the same venue on 20th December. That is against the great El Ali. So I believe that once they won against Belouizdad 2-1, Ketsi, Daniel Omote, and then Kamaruddin Mamadou, those 2 late goals from the first half and then the second half gave Medeama a 2-1 win over Belouizdad last week Friday. And I believe that when they are able to give out that same performance against Young Africans, it will boost their confidence against El Ali at home as well. So Medeama has 2 consecutive home games to play. That is against Young Africans Friday at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in December 8th, and then against El Ali on 20th December at the same venue, Baba Yara Sports Stadium. So 6 points at stake for Medeama to amass. If they're able to get that 6 points, it means Medeama will have 9 points, which puts them on a very good pedestal ahead of their progression out of the group. So they need to fight against El Ali. They need to fight against Young Africans at home, and then Belouizdad at away as well. So that is it. Now, like I said earlier, I would have drafted down some 3 things that I believe that if Medeama Sporting Club should be able to do, they are going to qualify out of the group stage. And the first one is they should never look down on their opponent, especially the North African countries, and they shouldn't give them so much respect. Yes, El Ali is very good, Belouizdad is also very good, but they should always have it at the back of their minds that, look, we are equally good as them. Once we've been able to beat other clubs to come to this stage, it means that once we put out a very good performance, we can also progress out of the group stage. They shouldn't look down on themselves. They should always have that ideology or have that thinking that, yes, we can also beat El Ali. El Ali is beatable. They are not, we are not going to say they can't be beaten or they've never been beaten. They've been beaten before. So it tells you that, yes, when Medeama puts in a lot of energy, they shouldn't look down on them. They shouldn't give them so much respect because they are the defending champions of this tournament. No, Medeama should always have it at the back of their mind that, look, we can beat El Ali and then we can progress. So they shouldn't look down on themselves. They shouldn't give El Ali too much respect because they are the champions of Africa. No, but they should have that self-belief, have that self-confidence. Once you've been able to beat Belouizdad, it means that any other club in the group can be beaten as well. So no much too respect for the opponents. Don't look down on yourself. Always have that positive mindset of beating them. The next one is they should capitalize on all their home games and gain all 9 points because it's very important. If you're able to gain all 9 points at home, it puts you on a very tough it puts on a very good stage to be able to progress out of the group stage. Imagine Medeama has 9 points. It means that they need to fight for at least 2 draws to be able to get at least 10 points or 11 points to be able to progress out of the group stage, which will be a very good record for them, because this is their first time playing the CAF Champions League, and with this quality that they have shown, they have exhibited for us to see, I believe that the whole of Ghana, everybody's rallying behind them to be able to get all these points. So I believe that they should capitalize on their home results, gain all the 9 maximum points there, and then they are good to go. So they should be able to beat Young Africans at all costs on Friday at Abaya Sports Stadium. And then on December as well, December 20th, they should be able to beat El Ali at the Babaya Sports Stadium as well. So I think that these 2 crucial games are very, very important for Medeama. Already have 3 points, so if they're able to beat Young Africans and then also beat El Ali, then I believe Medeama will go through with 9 points, probably fight for another 1 point and then gain 10. And then the last point is they should stay focused and improve upon their first half and then the second half performance. I mean, I think it's very, very, very important. They should stay focused. Look at their first game against El Ali in Egypt. I mean, first half they held the Egyptian champions to a goalless draw. It tells you that if they had improved upon that consistency and that focus in the second half, they would have, but probably lose by a goal or 2, which is not be too much, or probably might even come out with a point, which is quite very difficult. But I believe that if they should have stepped up their performance a bit, they could have gotten a very deserved point in Egypt. So I believe that yes, they should stay focused, and then they should improve upon their first half performance and then their second half performance. I'm saying the second half before, because if you look at their game against Belouizdad at the Babaya Sports Stadium, at the first half they were a goal down through a penalty. Belouizdad scored in the 39th minute. Then before the final whistle in the 45th minute, former Wafa striker and former under 24, that is Daniel Agbo Lomote, grabbed that needed equalizer for them, and then it gave them confidence into the second half. So we all realized that when they came back in the second half, I mean, we saw a very good performance from Medeama. They were able to capitalize on that last minute chance, and then they were able to get that 2-1 win over Belouizdad, which gave them a lot of confidence ahead of their game against Young Africans. So I believe that if Medeama should capitalize on these 3 points that I have stated, I mean, they can equally qualify out of the group stages of the CAF Champions League. We wish them the very best in their subsequent games, and then we pray and then we hope that they should make Ghanaians proud. They should give out their very best. We will also come out in our numbers to support them. I want to also congratulate Patrick Akoto for a very good job done. That is the communication director of Medeama. I mean, publication-wise, media tour, publicity, everything concerning media and communication. I mean, my very, very big boss, Patrick Akoto, has done extremely well, and I believe that he needs to be applauded. So we wish Medeama the very best Friday at the Babaya Sports Stadium. We'll come there in our numbers to support them. And then don't forget to Dreams is also playing today against Rivers of Nigeria in the CAF Confederations Cup at the same venue. We also wish them the very best. And this is Linus Nate TV on YouTube. Thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel, like, share, put your comments under it. We are going to make sure we read them for you. In case of any sponsorship or any advertisement, don't hesitate to call us on 0547 573032, and then we are always available for you. We are dropping another exclusive interview hopefully next week, so just don't forget to put your notification button on. We are going to give you the very best of exclusive sports interview, so stick and stay with us. Thank you very much. Bye bye.